Man, if you're like segueing right into what I wanted to talk about, like
What?
so bad.
Do it.
With like neuroplasticity,
Mm-hmm.
because that's like with AI and everything that you were talking about and
We'll get there.
deep diving into,
We didn't talk about it yet.
and just like changing of the mind and like the rewiring of the mind. You said subconsciously. That's why it got to me, because I was like, the way that our minds have changed since even like the written word was introduced, because Socrates was like, everyone was great speakers then. They didn't have language like that written down. So that was a whole new technology to Socrates. And he was like, if people write things down, they're not going to remember them. They're going to lose that skill. Because to speak a whole story, think about the memory required. And then now we're using written words to do that. That's just one example. And then you go even further with the internet and social media, how that's like, now we are robots pretty much, because you just look it up. Oh, Google, here it is, pull it up. That's not in my head. That's here. And to me, it's like, now we got to think, how's the AI going to change how we develop? We're talking about how we're worried about the AI developing itself. How's it going to change how we develop?
You're making me think about a whole bunch of shit right now. Isn't like 97% of our history not even recorded? Because of that. And then you got me thinking, how do you go from caveman to really well-spoken? How does that happen?
A lot of hard work, I feel like. A lot of struggle.
Right?
A lot of people dying.
That's freaky to think about, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Episode 118, Jobins. We brought it in like that. How we doing? Hope you guys are well. We got a busy fucking weekend. Jobins, me and Brock still been fucking sick. It's a linger. So a couple weeks ago, you and Sono got sick. Me and Brock didn't get sick. Now here we are. Me and Brock are sick. You and Sono aren't sick. So
True. You probably got what we had then, huh?
Yeah.
Because when I was sick, and I still have allergies, kind of bad. So who knows? Maybe it's still lingering that long for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was hawking up like loogies that were like really green, like mucusy, like when you blow out your nose and it's like, oh, I'm sick. Look at the color.
You kind of sound sick right there.
Yeah, it's coming back now. Who knows? But I still went to work the whole time.
Yeah,
I
dude, I've been down.
Didn't go out at all.
Not me.
It was tough.
So you didn't care about others?
Well, I wasn't as sick as Blake was. I was like, this isn't anything.
Oh, dude, I got some people at work that if they get sick, they might fucking die, and I can't have that on my conscience.
Well, the population's so large as it is. I mean, we could lose a few.
Damn, you right there. I felt bad though, dude. Sprouts, Jobins, when one person dips out on Sprouts, the ship has sunk for the day, and it's just fucking trash. And so I felt really bad. The third day, I felt so bad, and everyone was there. I bought him a pizza.
You didn't have to do that.
I
You were
wanted
sick,
to.
dude. And you know what's
know.
bullshit? I'm honestly, Jobins, I'm pissed off for you. Motherfucker, if I called in sick and I'm legitimately sick and then you're doubting if I'm sick or not, you better believe I will have no loyalty towards you. I will be like, fuck you. That is the truth.
100%.
What do you... People are allowed to get sick, okay? I'm sorry that you guys don't have enough people to run the day. But it'd be even worse. You want them to come in there and, like you said, get everybody sick? Like, maybe I could have done...
Oh, I know. Yeah, I was pretty pissed. It was upsetting, especially with an employee like me. When you show up, you do your job, you do a great job, you go above and beyond when they're fucking ass. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When you got an employee like that, and I don't call out, I don't not come into work. Mm-hmm. So when the day comes, I go, your boy's down bad. And then I get messages from some of them, oh, they're all pissed at you, man. You might not even want to come in tomorrow, bro. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to make it to come in, dude. I'm dying.
I've been there too, though, when I worked at a grocery store a while back. And, dude, I just so upset when they, were questioning whether... It's like, dude, I get that a lot of people do that, but I ain't one of them. Yeah. So don't say shit like that.
Well, Wednesday came, and then that's when the messages changed. I think they all knew Schmitty was down bad. They're like, oh, I started getting the hope you feel better. We got you, all that kind of shit.
What would you have done if when you got the pizza to them, one of them was just like, oh, a pizza, huh? So were you sick? Or is this a bribe?
Yeah, was a guilty conscience involved, Schmidt? No, a little bit, because I felt bad because I knew you guys were fucked.
I'd be like, here's your fucking pizza. Yeah, throw it in their face.
Guys. But it's still, and then, of course, it's always bad timing with Schmidt, Joe. But we got our friends coming in. Warlike comes in tonight at 8. We got to
Sick. Let's go, War.
Yeah. I want to try and do a pod with everybody.
That'd be cool.
War's got a really cool situation going on. He's working with this company. Was a what was it? What's the shit that failed? NFT projects. Who even? Sorry about that.
Well, that's really cool what they're doing, huh?
Yeah. Now they turned from an NFT company and now they're going into like I forget what he says about
Fan service.
Fan service. Thank you. I don't know if you Jobins heard about it. I didn't hear about it until Warlike told me with the whole Kevin Holland situation with the mentally challenged kid. Did you hear about that?
No.
Do you know about it yet? Okay, so I'm teaching. So Kevin Holland was taking a picture with this kid. He didn't want to be touched. The kid touched him or something. I don't know 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. It didn't go well. The interaction didn't really go well. And then people online started talking shit to this kid who's mentally challenged. So Warlike, shout out Warlike, he was trying, he's just a little silly with some of these things I'm about to tell you. But he had it in his mind. He's like, dude, let's show that the UFC is bigger than this. Let's get you and Henry, because they got their beef right now, to get together to show that even though you guys got your beef, that you could put that differences aside for bullying and shit like that and meet this kid, all that.
I mean, that's kind of a cool idea.
Well, you know, when you get fighters involved, Sean's like, no, fuck that. I don't want to do that with Henry. Henry was in fight camp, and I'm actually giving credit. I give a lot of credit to Henry's team and everything. They upped it. Henry's like, oh, no, that's too chaotic. I'm in fight camp. He's like, let's buy the kid a ticket and fly him out to the fight. So that's happening, all because of Warlike and his company. So that's fucking lit.
That is fire.
Yeah. So
and this was the original kid that had met Kevin Holland, you're saying?
Yeah, met Kevin Holland.
And then had a bad interaction with him?
Yeah, and then people were fucking with him online, talking shit. So it's a big moment. It's a cool moment for the kid and for everything. I feel bad for the kid, you know. And
what about for Kevin Holland? Is he like, was he in the wrong at all? I don't know the interaction at all of what happened.
You know, and that's the thing. Can we be mad at someone? You can't assume someone's mentally challenged or anything. And if someone's upset you, you know?
Right.
So I can't hate on him. Now, if we were like, dude, he's a mentally challenged kid, and he's like, I don't give a fuck, then I'd be like, damn, Kevin Holland, you a piece of shit. So if that happened, piece of shit. If it didn't happen, it's
all about the context. I don't know exactly what happened, but that's crazy. Good for the kid to go see Henry. That's
good. I've Warlike, but I think Sean's still going to meet him too, though, because Warlike's company is flying him down. They teamed up with a company that has airline tickets on the fucking reg, so that's an awesome plug. So they're gonna fly Warlike and a couple guys down. They're gonna get Sean. They're gonna go meet the kid, and then I think just do some other things. So that's pretty cool.
He's gonna one up it, huh? They're gonna be like, oh, I don't want to meet Henry anymore. I already had such a good time with Sugar.
Sean gives him a watch. Just that time.
Henry, what are you gonna give me?
Yeah. That's true though. It's true. I wouldn't put it past Sean to do something like that. Kid's like, I don't even fucking care about the fight anymore. I don't even want to go.
Yeah. That's so sick that he's coming down, dude, for the
Just can't wait to see our little greaseball Canadian more like. Our buddy Mo's flying in town. He's in New Mexico right now for a buddy's wedding. And then he's going to fly here. Poor Mo, Jobins. Airline company. Like being in a fucking airport for 5 hours when your fucking flight keeps getting delayed. RIP to him, fucking Mo. He had to go through some adversity.
Hey, how long of a drive would it have been, though? You know?
Shit.
It still would have been.
I'd almost rather drive.
No.
Dude, I like driving.
The time,
just sitting there and waiting. Oh, God, that would drive me crazy. But he's coming in town for a couple days, and he's going somewhere else. We got our friend Josh and Andrea coming down.
Shout out Josh and Andrea.
Yeah, tomorrow. So, yeah, Jobins, we just got a busy fucking week. It's been good. And the timing of me getting sick and Brock getting sick, it's like, fuck.
And we got playoff basketball, Jobins. Let's go.
Yeah, Sunday we're going to a baseball game.
Baseball game. That's going to be fire. See Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I haven't been to the stadium yet, so that'd be cool. All right. So what do we want to dive in here first? You know, let's start with the Evil Dead review. I want to start with Evil Dead. Give Jobins, if you haven't seen, we're huge Evil Dead fans here.
Big time.
Bruce Campbell's our fucking icon. He's a legend. You know what I mean?
He is, man. The guy with the chainsaw hand.
Yeah.
With the boomstick.
And honestly, I went back last night and I started watching Ash vs. Evil Dead. Oh, it hit nostalgia feels, even though it's not even that old. It's like 8 years old. Man,
I got canceled too.
Yeah,
I wish it would have gone.
Yeah, it got canceled because the ratings were dwindling on Stars, and I kind of wonder if like time played a part of this, because back then Stars and all that, it wasn't what it was today with everyone having their own app. Right? So was that the beginning of like Netflix apps and other apps kind of starting to affect cable television?
I think it was already affecting it hardcore when it first aired in 2015.
Well, no, because Netflix, it was still airing on Stars, and Netflix uploaded the show onto Netflix.
Oh,
and it went up. People loved, so people were watching it on Netflix.
Right.
And then here's another thing that I'm about, Jobins. Ash versus Evil Dead, or any Evil Dead, is a cult film. So these are going to be diehard fans, Netflix, when you fucking bring that shit to the table. You're not bringing the fucking general wide Stranger Thing audience. You're bringing the cult fans. And we're diehards.
I would say so.
Yeah, like we saw Evil Dead last night, Jobins. I liked it. I gave it a 6.2.
Yeah. 6.2. I went 6.8. I went a little higher than that.
This one was cool. So, okay, let's go. So there's Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, Ash vs. Evil Dead Remake, Evil Dead Rise. So that's all your Evil Deads. Go look them up. Go check them out. The first one, Friends in the Cabin.
1981. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Which I wanted to read this. We're all over the place with this right now. I learned this last night that I never knew. He's kind of like Kevin Smith and all them. You ready for this? Which, did you know Bruce Campbell, everything that the director did, Sam Raimi, dude, which is the Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
Bro, our boy Bruce is in all of them. He plays little tiny, he's a ring announcer in the first one when he's in the very beginning fighting.
That's sick.
Yeah, in every one of them. And then anything Sam Raimi does, his boy's in there. So I'm going to read this little mini bio real quick, Jobins. This is pretty cool. In 1979, with his Detroit friends, Sam Raimi and Rob Tarbett, Bruce Campbell raised $350,000 for a low-budget film, The Evil Dead, which he starred, co-executive produced, completed piecemeal over 4 years. The film first gained notoriety in England, where it became the best-selling video of 1983, beating out The Shining. After its appearance, Cannes, where Stephen King dubbed it the most ferocious original horror film of the year, New Line Cinema stepped forward to release Evil Dead in the U.S.
Isn't that so inspirational too? That's like me and you getting together and actually getting it done and making a movie. That's so badass.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And then to think it came out in 1981, but it didn't get big till 1983 in England. Like, that's a minute to where you're just like, okay, it's been made, but damn.
Yeah. And then the spread in America, and America love it.
You know what's crazy? You couldn't get that story now because of distribution being so much easier with the internet.
Yeah.
No one was just pulling up in 1981 to 83 like freaking YouTube.
And you don't need $350,000 to make a low budget film anymore.
Damn, that's so true.
Yeah, dude. We just need our phone. So you need about $1,000 phone. $1,000, and you can make a low-budget film.
The most money, do you think, probably went into the effects of Evil Dead?
100%.
Because the first one had a lot of gratuitous violence.
Had to be most of it, right?
That's what I would think.
But so fucking cool when I read that last night. I was so inspired, like you said. And then I'm looking all the shit up about it, Evil Dead and everybody, and I'm like, it's just so nostalgic for me. And there's actually, Evil Dead was canceled because of the ratings going down on Stars, even though they were going up on Netflix. People were pissed. I was pissed. Remember how pissed I was?
I think it's the Stars dilemma, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Stars was already is on the decline.
Yeah. After they canceled it, that's what I was saying. After they canceled it, fucking Bruce Campbell came out saying he hung up the jacket. Because I keep wanting Jobins. My heart. I'm hoping that we go see Evil Dead Rise last night and my boy Bruce makes a cameo, saves the day or some shit. You know what I mean? That's what I always just want.
You know, to me, man, because this movie was directed and written by Lee Cronin, who's not Sam Raimi.
They did produce it, though. They did both Sam Raimi and our boy
Bruce. They both approved it.
They both helped produce it too, so they were behind it.
Because I was gonna say it'd be so cool to see like both of those directly involved in a movie.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of also, I don't know, bittersweet too, because Sam Raimi didn't direct something without him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he didn't do Ash versus Evil Dead. He did the first episode, but he was again producing it. But there's also a petition online that you can go sign to get our boy Bruce back for a season 4. What if Netflix picked it up? You know what I mean? And he's older now.
The way they ended it, though, I don't know how you get another season.
Dude, it was whoa.
It was wild end times craziness.
I know, but it was also a cliffhanger. It was a huge cliffhanger. They set up a huge thing, and they were ready for it. Sam Remney and Bruce both had the plot. They had the whole thing.
Yeah, but it seemed like it'd have to have the highest budget. How are you going to restart? Like usually your first season's the lowest budget. And
I got the answer. Up. I got the fucking answer. You fucking do Army of the Darkness. Army of Darkness. This is now Army of Darkness. And I want to bring in all these Evil Deads, and they're all in the same world. All in the same world. Same, just at different times. Mm-hmm. And then you take Ash versus Evil Dead. Since we got that cliffhanger ending, we'll sum it up. We sum it up in Army of Darkness. That bitch from Evil Dead Rise, she should have got sucked up into the book. Mm-hmm.
And obviously there's going to be some spoilers probably, Jobins.
Yeah, minor spoils, Jobins. We won't say much. It's a gore film. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to get fucking killed and shit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you get her sucked in. Fucking they meet up. Ash failed. Mm-hmm. Everything about the show's gone. That's how you fucking take care of that. He's going to sum it up. He's going to talk about how much he fucked up, who we all lost, all this kind of shit. Maybe we can bring in his daughter from Ash versus Evil Dead and his little buddy, right? Yeah. They're in there too.
Pablo, right?
Pablo, they're in there too.
Pablo.
Yeah. Maybe Pablo died. And then maybe Bruce is like, you need to help me save my daughter. That's the only thing I want to do is to save my daughter. Then you bring in the chick from Evil Dead Rise. Boom, bada, bing. We set all this up. We set the story up. And then Ash is dead. Ash dies at the end of this. He takes care of everything. He solves it all. His storyline is done, saves the day, and then it goes on. Either do you end the Evil Dead series right there and wrap it up, which I think you would. That way, any other Evil Dead, like any other fucking new projects, it's brand new and it's on its own. It's a final conclusion to everything that we've had for the past 30, 40 years.
I love it, the idea of letting him retire, but also with de-aging technology. Let's get a 20-year contract, and then he comes in and there's a teleportation, and you see a young evil version of him come out, and he's going to be the main bad guy.
That could work. That could work with your because guess what else Sam Remney did? Doctor Strange Madness of Multiverse of Madness.
That's crazy.
So we can do this, Jobins. Clip this shit. Send it to our boy Bruce because we're his biggest fans. I would love to meet Bruce and just spit.
Yeah, he seems a cool guy, grounded.
To sit down with Bruce and Sam and just as diehard Evil Dead fans, like, look, motherfuckers, this is what we want. That would be amazing.
What'd you think of the film we watched last night, though?
Yeah, Evil Dead Rise, Jobins. 2 sisters meet up for the first time. They haven't met up. The one's getting ready. She's having a baby. She's lost in life. Her older sister's always the wise one. Her sister lives in this old-ass hotel apartment.
And she's actually not as wise as she comes off. Yep. She's going through some family shit herself.
We're all dumb. Mm-hmm. But and she's got her kids. And, obviously, the kid finds the fucking book, opens that shit, and just hell.
One thing leads to another.
Yeah.
Dude, the performances, though, I thought by Ellie, who was the mom, like that was...
Did you drop the name? Did you write the names?
I did. I wrote the names down. Because Alyssa Sutherland plays as her. And she's in Vikings too, Jobins. I don't know if you ever watched that. But she's been in a few things.
She killed it.
Yeah, very good performance. She had me creeped out. If I saw her, I'd be like, you're scary.
Yeah. 100%.
And then her sister, who's the main girl, the final girl, that always lives till the end of the freaking movie. Her name's Beth in the movie, but Lily Sullivan played her, and she did a really good job too.
They did. I liked both of them.
I didn't write the name of the other people down because these were kind of the 2 main stars in my opinion. Yeah. But everyone around all over the cast, they did all good.
The kids were really good too. The favorite of mine was the little girl. The little girl killed it. Mm-hmm. Her little lines and fucking shit up and then having her conclusion at the end. I thought she did really well too.
My biggest complaint though, Jobins, is that the inconsistencies with how stupid characters would act.
Yeah.
And it's I want an intelligent scary movie.
Yeah.
Why do we have to always have them be stupid as hell in these films?
Right.
Open the door for me. Like, obviously, they're not gonna open the door for you.
Well, I like, you know, a little kid doesn't know everything. When you got your mom, you like, she's confused at first, which they tied up at the end. And I was like, yeah. It made me react when she goes, I know you're not my mom. Like, that made me go, fuck yeah, because she's a little girl. She doesn't know that's what I wanted more in the beginning as well. There wasn't enough confusion and chaos with they were all just kind of standing there watching for the first 20 minutes of the movie with this bitch doing some crazy shit. And for me, if I see my mom doing the shit that this lady's doing, I'm freaking out. You know what I mean? I'm getting, what the fuck is going on? I'm not going, Mom?
Yeah, there's so many scenes where it's like, I'm running away.
Yeah. But I loved it. Went back to being dark because, you know, it's been 10 years now since the Evil Dead remake happened, which you said you weren't. Yeah. And that one also came out. They all come out around like March, April, which is pretty cool. 10 years since that one. I really enjoyed that one because that was the first Evil Dead we got since the originals, and we were left with Army of Darkness, right? So that's when it became almost like Leprechaun and Chucky, where it's no more a horror film like the first. It's now a cult horror film with like humor. There's that weird dark humor with the skeletons all fucking running around and shit. You know what I mean? And that's what I loved about Ash versus Evil Dead. That humor's there. It's over the top.
The campiness.
Yeah, it's so over the top. But then at the same time, the production for Ash versus Evil Dead was great. The makeup looked great. They still were trying to be scary, which I was like, damn, this show's going way over the top with like raunchy humor to also being scary. So that's why it kept drawing me in. And I fucking loved it. So then we get the remake that you didn't like. That was the first time again that we got that serious, really scary Evil Dead. And then it's like, okay, that's like the original. So how much fun can we really have? That's why I was rethinking about it last night. I think I do like this one more than that one because it's a new spin on it. They're not in a cabin. The book looked cool. It had teeth. There was a new little spin to that. The whole way that the guy talking about what's it called again? The
Necronomicon.
Necronomicon. I always
and it was like, well, they didn't even. I don't think they even used the word Necronomicon.
They didn't. They said the Book of the Dead, 1 of 3.
Oh, so you know for a fact, and like you said, if they tied in all 3 books to be in the same world, you could definitely play it off as they are all definitely all exist.
Yeah, Jobins. We were up here in the room last night talking for like half hour with Brock, just spitting shit.
And it did look like a different book. Had different shit in it.
Yeah, it had teeth. And then I loved how the description of everything, like the blood is all the pages are made from the blood of people. It just got crazy. That was actually, for me, Jobins, the scariest part of the movie was the turning table of him burning.
One of the kids, he has a DJ turntables and he puts the old record on that he finds along with the book.
Yeah.
And it's playing that priest who's like, we want to transcribe the Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
And you hear all these people like, don't do it.
Yeah. And he sounds so cool. And then the record, it stop. He can't get it to stop. It's going on its own.
Yeah.
That part was the scariest to me because I'm using my imagination, right? And I'm like, holy fuck! If I found this book and this shit started happening, that would be the fucking most scariest thing. And that was another thing that I didn't really like about the kid.
Okay.
And you can argue with it because he's like quiet as fuck after he finds the book. Sister's like, don't put that shit back. He doesn't, obviously. And then he does it. Fucks his mom up, and he's watching everything go on, and he knows, oh, I fucked up.
Well, to be fair, he's probably still figuring things out himself. He just found the book that day, that night all this is happening. He's never experienced one supernatural occurrence, and you're expecting him to wholeheartedly believe that his actions caused that? I mean, yeah.
I would be, dude, the book pages were turning on their own, dog.
That's true. This
on
is
his
true.
desk, and then the table's not turning, and then shit sounds weird, and then I heard demonic fucking words being said,
and the book had me entranced.
Yeah.
No, he probably should have, but at the same time, he could have still been wrestling with like, am I crazy? Did I really have all this happen?
I think I'd be more panicking, Jobins. I'd be freaking the fuck out. I'd be like, oh my God, guys, I fucked up. I fucking read this. Look at this book. Holy fuck, what is this? Do you think this is it? Do you think that's what I did? That's what I'd be like. Freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
At least me.
And then
I just needed that. I needed that a little more in the movie. The special effects were great.
The special effects were great, yeah.
Special effects. It reminded me of It. When she came out of the bathtub, oh, Mommy's with the maggots now. It was like, oh, you look like it, Pennywise.
Dude, it was creepy. There was a lot of scenes that were just like scared the shit out of me. I was on the edge of my seat, Jobins, a lot of the time.
Yeah. And they do a great job. The callbacks to the chainsaw, to the lines she said that Bruce would say that you caught that I didn't, that I was pissed about. And then even the fucking
are you talking about The Shining with the elevator too?
Oh, yeah,
like showing love to like just horror movies.
Oh yeah, I love when horror movies do that shit. I love it. I wish I could get scared though, Jobins. Nothing scares me. This guy's watching a movie and jumping around, and I laugh and I'm like, okay, yeah, that was cool.
Well, I like to think about myself in that situation, how fucking scared I'd be, dude.
Right?
But I would never separate from the rest of the group. I do not understand, Jobins. This happened the whole entire movie. Hey, I'm going to do this and figure something out. Why don't you guys stay in here while I'm in this other room where you can't see me? Oh. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? You will. I'd be like, we're all in the same room. My eyes are never leaving any of you.
I was kind of hoping all of them were going to get locked into different rooms. The mom was out in the hall, and then when the one got possessed, I was like, oh, they're going to lock her in that room. I was kind of hoping that was going to happen, but it didn't.
And it was atmospheric, though, too, with the cabin and, like...
Oh, yeah.
They used the apartment as the cabin, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked how you put that earlier.
Yeah. And the shots were cool. It was a lot of fun.
Dude, that's a staple in the Evil Dead series, is that shot that's a woo, and it's, tracking and, like...
Oh, yeah. And here was another idea I had, Jobins. This is another movie idea with Evil Dead. I hope all of our fans didn't just skip through all this Evil Dead shit because they didn't watch it, because I think we're killing it right now with our ideas.
Hey, man.
I wish Bruce would see this shit so they'd be like, we need to call those guys and talk to them. Because here's another idea, Jobins. The origin of the book, of where the book came from. And this is a shout out to the new Nosferatu movie, because it is partial where I came up with it.
Oh, yeah.
They had it in an apartment. It's been in the cabin in the woods. We need it on a ship. Old times. It could be Army of Darkness too. This could be like towards that kind of shit.
An old time ship too.
Yeah, old time ship.
Damn. You know what? Army of Darkness though, bro. Because I'm a history nerd here. The medieval times, like you're only gonna have like Vikings that can really sail, and that would be like longboats. So like a traditional pirate boat, like you're saying, would be more like 1600s at like or 15 at the earliest, with the Spanish maybe.
Can we get a little fun with it then? Can we just have a little fun?
I mean, it would just have to be a little old, like a little more recent than medieval times. Like you wouldn't have a knight on a boat or anything.
Maybe then we can maybe jump into why the shit even happened in Army of Darkness at that time period. Because there we go. That wasn't the beginning of this shit. It even goes back even further.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, right? We could go on all day though, Jobins. Ash fucking Evil Dead. My God. Go watch it. Let us know what you think.
6.2 over there, 6.8.
Yeah. I think I'm a little hard on it because of like my diehardness love for Evil Dead.
True. And I'm like, you gotta really be spectacular to separate yourself from what I've already kind of grown to love. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little bit of a tough critic too. It could have been even higher if I hadn't had any experience watching any of the other films.
Yeah. And the weird thing in here, Jobins, is the real reason that I love Evil Dead is because of Ash, is Bruce Campbell. Mm-hmm. I'm not the big gore horror fan. Like Saw, we enjoyed Saws when those first came out. That was like the beginning of it, but I'm not one, like that clown movie.
Oh, that's too much. That Terrifier.
Yeah. And that's where Evil Dead's there. If it wasn't for Bruce, I probably would never have been an Evil Dead fan because he's a hero. And it was never even meant to be that way, which is another cool thing.
Right. That's true. At the end of the first one, the thing just goes on him.
Yeah. And that's just because at like day one with Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell killed it. And he's such an icon. I don't know. I love the guy, and he's in his 60s now, and I just want one more. Just give us one more, Bruce.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Shout out Evil Dead.
Yeah, shout out Evil Dead. All right, I'm gonna drop this on you.
Uh-oh, what is it?
Jonathan Major news. 8 more people came out.
What? 8 more people came out about him being abusive or something?
Oh yeah. And people that he's worked with. And here's the thing, Jobins, with Jonathan Majors. This is shitty, right? Such a strong accusation pointed towards him. Mm-hmm. And here he is. Hasn't been proven guilty. and all these things are happening, right?
Right.
And you can get to where it's like, oh, we can get into crazy theories where it's like, does someone up above in the industry not like this guy? And here he is about to be on top with the multiverse and a whole bunch of other big roles that he was given that are now gone.
My question is like, how far do these allegations go back? Because he's always prided himself on like being a very in shape actor. Mm-hmm. So like,
and
who
nice.
knows about if he's juicing too on top of that? And like,
dude, the sad thing is he's been shown to be like the gentle giant. Anytime you hear the guy talk in any of the interviews I was watching, he's all about being nice and gentle. But then guess what? It's like Ellen DeGeneres, man. People.
Oh my God.
People started coming out saying that he's a real piece of shit. Like he's an asshole. He treats people bad. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, if that's so true, I'm fucking broken, because here we were just a few episodes ago and Jonathan Majors is going to be on top of the fucking world. Like, we love him. We haven't seen Creed 3 yet.
Dude. And then you just brought up Ellen. That makes me so sad thinking about Finding Nemo was one of our favorite movies, Jobins.
You're telling me
Dory
Dory's a
was
cunt?
legendary. You're telling me Dory's a cunt?
Dory's a cunt.
For real, dude.
That's fucked.
Ellen, now you're telling me Jonathan Majors is the next Ellen DeGeneres pretty much, because he's fucking shitty behind closed doors.
If you don't know what happened yet, Jobins, he was arrested last month. He got into an argument with his girlfriend. Apparently some other girl was texting him and she got upset about it, and he power slapped her because apparently she got a huge bruises and marks across her face. I read that she had a laceration. But then you read the story, Jobins, and then he was the one to call the cops because he was worried about her. But then people were saying, oh no, that's him just calling the cops to try and help make it look like he was innocent.
100%. And think about how an amazing actor he is. I think like the actors and entertainers, we got to remember they're just normal people with flaws.
100%.
And Justin Roiland from freaking another example of a guy who's just fucking ruined his whole career off these allegations and everything. And it's like, dude, I wouldn't be so... What if he is innocent though?
I know.
I don't want to jump to conclusions.
Here we are. It's like the whole... And dude, if he's innocent, it's already so fucked because his management... This is huge. His management team dropped him. Mm-hmm. He's lost all his roles, which I'll read a couple. Damn. 48 Hours in Vegas. He was going to play Dennis Rodman. These ones are still up in the air because they're all waiting for what Marvel's going to do. Because Marvel's got Damson Idris. Have you heard of him? Damson Idris.
I have not heard of him.
He's from one of his big shows is on FX called Snowfall. I've never watched it.
I've heard of the show.
Yeah, that's one of his big shows. He's a British Nigerian actor.
Okay.
He's younger, thinner. He's not as big as our boy, but he's on backup right now, looking like he's more than likely probably going to replace Jonathan Majors. Yeah. Man. So if that decision happens, all these are gone. Everything, he's done. Because he had The Understory, which is a Spike Lee project tied with Will Smith, gone.
Oh, that's a little. And Will Smith, both
Damn.
of them in the same movie.
And Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Major slapped his... Damn.
Yeah, we can't have these. We got to recast
Spike
that whole movie.
Lee, what the fuck you doing to everybody,
yeah.
Dude?
Hey, he believes in second chances.
Drop from The Man in My Basement, which is a Walter Mosley novel, 2004 novel. He also had Army commercials, U.S. Army commercials pulled, ads for MLB. Yeah, dude.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, for real, if he was juiced. That guy's ripped, man.
Oh, he's so jacked.
And in Creed, him and Michael B. Jordan, those guys are freaking cut in that film.
Right? But it just makes me so sad, dude. Like, why the fuck you hit a girl, dude? I can't say I'll never hit a girl, but Jobins, I am 100% sure I'm never going to hit a girl. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not that fucking hard. You, as a man, jacked man, no matter, even if you're a little scrawny Joaquin Phoenix Joker man, you don't smack a woman.
Yeah, but what if, like, say this, what if John Majors came into the room and he was like, you okay? And then she was, like, slinging freaking eggs into the frying pan and she's clearly possessed.
Dreams about being inside you. Yeah.
What if she's Evil Dead possessed, bro?
Oh, and plus, what if you got, like, a jacked girl who's just, and she's horrible, beats the shit out of you every day?
There are certain circumstances.
Get the fuck
but for the most part, obviously, you wouldn't put your hands on a girl.
It's not fucking hard.
And, but dude. Fuck.
And then the thing to have this opportunity, you have all these things at your feet right now to do that.
Well, what about method acting too? Because he's a really good
He's
actor.
getting enrolled from
and he's getting
the
enrolled.
other story.
You know, Creed. He's was in prison, got out of it, wanting revenge on his brother in that movie. There could be so many mental things. And then Will Smith, when he slapped Chris Rock, he said, you know, how much he would never, like King Richard would never take that kind of disrespect or stuff like that, to where that was in his head to like be like that, dude.
That's true. You do have a point.
So maybe he's not
acting
evil.
fucks your head up. We've learned that.
Maybe it's actors we need to worry about when they get too into their roles.
Yeah. And his agent should have looked and be like, "Hey, my boy's in all this kind of pretty crazy shit right now, so we're gonna have him here."
We need a romantic comedy for our boy Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. Damn.
Got some lighthearted films here.
It just sucks because then it's like now it's weird when you think of Ant-Man and now all this Kang shit. It's like, okay, let's just forget it. But you can't. At least for me.
Yeah, that's just.
It's like if RDJ slapped someone after Iron Man.
Dude, the Marvel Cinematic Universe would just, I don't know how they'd handle it.
Right? Times, dude. So, yeah, interesting to see what will happen with Jonathan Majors. I hope he's innocent.
Mm-hmm. Who knows? Maybe it's AI again doing it.
Yeah, good way to transfer into that.
Yeah.
Good job. I like that. You want me to just tell you all my shit?
Yeah,
I think we're fucked, Jobins. I think I don't think this is going to go too well with the AI. That's just me. You know what I mean? Hopefully it does. Hopefully there's antibiotics created. Hopefully there's plastics, enzymes made that we can have breakdown that won't affect the earth. Hopefully they'll fucking learn the answer to cancer. That would be the goal.
Right. If AI could figure things out that we can't.
And F you, Brenden. Because ever since you did the ChatGTP episode, you can go back and watch that episode, Jobins. Look at my face. Had no fucking clue what he was talking about. What? ChatGPT, what are you talking about? And I didn't even really go on about it. And then now here I am. I've dug into it. I've been here learning all this shit, freaking out, freaking Sono and Brock out. Mm-hmm. Just because, dude, this stuff, I watched the 60 Minutes, Jobins, with the Google CEO.
Yeah.
Watch that video and you'll kind of freak out. And now my phone's showing me everything AI, because you know how our phones are.
It's Bard, right? That's the Google.
Yeah, that's
the Google one.
Yeah, that's the Google. Dude, we are in right now. So it was the race to space.
Mm-hmm.
It's the race to AI dominance. And like when Joe and his one buddy were on the pod talking about it, the real funny comedian guy, I forget his name off the top. My bad. Had a Netflix show. Mm-hmm. When will someone's AI be like looked at as a god because of everything that it's learned, knows, and says? And so it's like whoever creates that god, that AI god, has the most power.
Dude, I'm just scared because I feel like it's going to be something that, like, it's not going to be, like, forcing us with guns or anything.
Yeah, it's no Terminator.
It's going to be seamless to where it's like we all agreed that it should be making decisions for us. And then that slippery slope's going to be there where it's like, how did we allow this to happen? Well, I came up with all these solutions to all of your problems. And then it's like, damn, we've given all this power willingly to the AI.
100%. And there's so much about it, dude. And every day the fucking little robots are getting smarter, practicing what they're practicing, learning what they're learning. And so this freaky shit, Jobins, is just like whenever... Oh, fuck, wrong page. I had it down.
Dude, you got notes on notes, fam.
Yeah, I had notes. So it's so much smarter than us. It can do so much more than what we can do, right? Mm-hmm. We can have a pod about a topic. Let's just say school. This fucking AI will be able to make millions. Now, we haven't got to where it can generate what we look like and do, right? Not that yet. But everything we say and sound like. So not only can it make 1 million episodes of a school where it sounds like us, but each episode will be different and it's insane, dude. It's insane. So one thing that I found interesting is they did they asked, there was the Google CEO interview, and then there's also the guy talking to, oh God, there's so much going in my head right now. It's hard to fucking zone in. Mm-hmm. There was 2 videos I watched. Both freaked me out. This one, they finished a fucking story, a famous 6-word story. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. That's the story. It fucking made a story within 5 seconds, intricate. No, and finishing it for it because they said finish the story for us. Then they did it in a verse, a poem verse.
Oh.
Ready for this?
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
For sale, baby shoes never worn. This is what it says. A woman lost her child and mourned in sorrow deep. She saw an ad and thought those shoes could help me grieve. She brought them, held them close, and felt her pain subside. She knew her baby's soul would always be alive.
That's really nice.
Right?
It's heartwarming.
They were freaking out because of the inside of faith of humanity. With the baby, she would always knew the baby's soul would be alive. So there it is, dude. Like, it knows what we think. And what the Bard thing, which was interesting, is that what's different between that one and the other, Elon Musk's one, that's who I was watching. Elon Musk talked to the other guy. Mm-hmm. And Elon Musk was scaring the shit out of me. Then Joe and his friend were watching it, and they watched both videos that I'm watching. I'm like, oh, this is freaking me out because Joe's watching this shit. He's freaking out. This is freaking me out.
Well, it's something we really have to have serious discussions about.
Yeah, dude. When these robots, this is the thing that also freaks me out. God, I wrote this. Oh, all right. So, emergent properties. And that emergent properties with these robots are when they're learning shit that they weren't programmed to learn. Mm-hmm. So, like languages. Motherfucker was programmed to do this, and then he picked up this language. Oh, these robots weren't supposed to come up with playing soccer. They learned how to play soccer, and now they're teaching themselves how to do defense, actual shots. Bro. And then the other thing which when we did the chat GPT, when we were asking it questions, we hallucinations. Mm-hmm. So they asked about inflation, and it gave a full report about inflation, and it gave 5 books to read. They looked up those books. They weren't real.
That is so scary.
Yeah. So it's just, and they can't figure that out. No one yet has figured that problem out with AI, with the hallucinations problem. Mm-hmm. And the Google CEO guy said it. They call it the black box when they just fucking don't know.
You know what I hated about his justification of rolling it out? Because I overheard it a little bit, and he was like, "Well, the human brain is like so complex itself, and we have that out." And I was just thinking, like, yeah, listen to what you just said, bro. You said we don't even fully understand our own brains and the inner workings of our own brains, and you want to throw out AI out there, which is a totally alien thing now. Guys, control, okay? Like, you got to realize how dangerous this could be. And then what? Oh, we're going to have a little pause and introduce it slowly to society. We still don't even know the full effects of how social media has impacted our whole behavioral patterns. What the fuck are we talking about?
100%. And they're like, oh, it's going to be allowed whatever humanity allows it. Yeah. Bro, we're evil.
You know what's
Humans are evil.
You know what's so scary about the smartest people? They're usually the most arrogant sometimes. That these motherfuckers really believe themselves smart enough to understand and control AI and be able to roll it out at a safe speed. Guys, it's going to take it should take lifetimes to honestly understand what the fuck we're rolling out into this society.
Well, I think it's all going to be used as a tool for control, 100%, right?
Yeah, I mean, but there's so many positives too. It's like, how do you weigh these things? If it can cure cancer, if it could get plastics that can dissolve and not ruin the environment.
But then, dude, this is where, and you could get into so many things of what happened. Remember that movie with Jason Sudeikis where they find out there's no heaven, so everyone starts killing themselves?
And not Jason Sudeikis, Jason Segal.
Segal, my bad. Uh-huh. Sorry, Jason Sudeikis. Yeah.
Also great. Funny.
Yeah. Hold on. Jason Segal? Was in that movie?
Yeah, from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, right? The guy.
Isn't that Jason Sudeikis?
Jason Sudeikis is the Saturday Night Live guy.
Ah, damn.
From Hall
My
Pass.
bad. Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. I got your back, fam.
And I love that guy. How could I mix him up? I love Forgetting Sarah
They're both
Marshall.
great.
Yeah, but dude, what if that's what happens with AI? What if it's like, oh yeah, there's no God, and this is why, and then we read it and we're going, oh fuck, that makes 100% sense.
Where it says, I am God. And people believe that.
Oh,
damn.
Dude. And then now we're getting AI generated music. So all this music's popping up on my phone. Juice WRLD AI generated, all this shit. So it's like, okay, that's fucking weird. Is that legal? So you can bring back anyone dead so we can get some Frank Sinatra, Post Malone songs now because of AI. Mm-hmm. So
You know what scares me too is like we always think that AI is going to be like robots versus people. It's going to be people versus people. It's going to spread fanaticism. There's going to be people that are followers of certain AIs possibly, you know,
100%.
that are going to fight tooth and nail for their beliefs that have been instilled by these AI.
And dude, what's freaky is that like what Elon Musk was saying with how Google was in like pretty much a monopoly at the time of AI and he wanted to compete with, right? But then you just have it's like us going, who was our moon people? Was it Russia or China?
Russia was the big competitor.
Yeah,
with the
first
space.
one to the moon. That's what is going on again, dude. And we also have all these other little companies that we have no idea about. Basement, some fucking Rick from Rick and Morty's in his garage right now fucking with shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's happening. And when it can start manipulating and making us think things, it's already got me thinking shit. You know what I mean? Who knows? And again, I'm not one of those people, Jobins, that just sits around freaking out, waiting for the world to end. I'm not like that. But am I interested? Hells yeah. And do I want to know? Because here's another goal is artificial general intelligence. And that's when the learning machine that can score on a wide range of talents. So what I'm meaning by that is they said, so those robots that were learning how to play soccer and teaching themselves how to play soccer, yeah, they can do that, but they can't do simpler things like write up a grocery list for you or do certain other things. So when the time comes that they do have a learning machine that can score, and a learning machine meaning it can understand everything and teach itself how to do
Pretty
everything.
much like full sentience, huh?
Full sentience. Dude. On a full range of talents, motherfucker can master everything.
And then when are you going to be getting into AI rights then? Because if these motherfuckers are like believing and have all these, can they experience emotions at that point? If they're like learning that much?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
The whole thing's fucking scary. I wish I would have I wish you would have been here. I wish I would have saved it for the pod, because when I was talking to Brock and Sono about it, I was freaking out. I was saying some shit. Just because, dude, when it comes to the time when it can see everything and then generate video, like we'll have new Chris Farley movies.
You know what too? And I'm wondering like about the monetary aspect of it too, is like, say there's an actor or something like Tom Cruise is like, you know what? I'd love to start a podcast, but I just don't have the time. But if I can do AI and then I still get monetary value for my likeness and everything, like the new form of lip syncing almost. Do you think like there's going to be so many entertainers that are getting paid and like accepting the money because it's like, oh yeah, well that's us, but it's not us.
I bet Elon Musk or whoever runs this motherfucker makes it a law to where something.
I'd be like, I don't think you should be able to profit off of AI doing stuff like that.
When does this start? When do these meetings start happening? When do these courts start fucking happening? You know what I mean? Because that's going to start, right? It's got to. Because it's got me. I'm like, how are you going to generate songs my boy Juice is dead. And now I'm playing a banger that my boy never wrote, thought of, or did anything. What's that? Who gets the money? All of it.
It was crazy. Jobins, I was watching an episode of The Mandalorian last night with Jack Black and Lizzo in it. And like the Mando
Jack
flies.
Black was in it?
He flies to this planet, right? And they're like, our robots are malfunctioning. And then they have to figure out why. And they're like, why don't you just shut the robots off and figure it out? And the guy's like, and it's Christopher Lloyd who's playing the guy. And he's like, these people, they wouldn't be able to live without their robots. They've all agreed for the robots to stay active, even though they're like taking off with cars and destroying the city. And I'm like, damn, that's how it's going to be with AI. Like,
I was telling Brock and Sono that too, because dude, they thought I was crazy. They put this shit in movies, so it's like, we see it before it happens. Because if you don't think that the government has advanced technology that's given to the public, you're crazy. So I think when we see stuff like movies or something, it's because someone knew somebody, knew something, learned about something that wasn't general fucking public knowledge, and was like, oh, that'd be a good fucking movie idea. What if I did? You know what I mean? It's just natural, which is what you even just said. There it is. A fucking Star Wars episode that's pretty fucking real, like iRobot. Yeah, robots aren't running around killing everybody yet or anything, but the face on the screen and it knowing shit, there's a piece into reality that was in a movie fucking years ago.
and of course, I feel like we're going through like worst case scenarios.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because this could really be a positive thing.
But that's what even Elon Musk said. He's like, people are like, oh, if this demon awakens and we can't control it, blow it up. And he's like, no, we just hit the power. But it's like, okay, that's really, if it's really that simple, are you lying to me? Or are you telling me the truth?
He says just hit the power,
Just
but
hit the power.
those effects on our brains and how we want to keep it or not.
Oh yeah, because, and that's another thing, how fast they're saying, oh, it's up to humans with how fast we adapt of working alongside robots. Mm-hmm. I think that like older generations, which have already gotten better. So like 10 years ago, you wouldn't see a grandma on an iPhone. Now we do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think it's actually going to be pretty quick with how the acceptance of robots. And then once that happens, when your robot you got a table full of shit and you're like, hey, your robot, bring me my apple. And that fucking thing brings you your apple. True. We are now dependent on a robot.
You know what scares me about thinking about this shit is the generational gaps, because like what they call tech, like internet immigrants are people that like were born before the internet was a big thing. Yeah. They're way less able to use it, less proficient than like ourselves. Yeah. And then even after us, like the proficiency levels are going to increase. So it's like we're not even going to probably even be able to communicate as well generation wise.
It's already happening because of our phones. One actress made me feel sad. I was like, damn, that's sad to think about. She said movie sets aren't the same anymore. People used to do movies and go out and party with each other and fall in love. Now everyone gets on their phones and goes to their trailers. So we're already dealing with that. Mm-hmm. And the moment it is released and everybody's doing it, it starts there. Everyone born from that moment on automatically mm-hmm. is adjusted. Mm-hmm. Automatically. So fast. So how dependent we become, what jobs are lost, what jobs are created, all very interesting, and we'll find out in time. Because they're saying even people who do like what code designing and shit like that, bye. You got a psychiatrist, bye. Because the robot's going to tell you everything as soon as you wake up. You don't need to schedule an appointment. You don't need to get in your car and drive to a psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be the AIs prescribing us pills.
Yeah. Telling you what's wrong with you. There's so many things, Jobins.
And if an AI can lie and give you 5 different sources to justify its point that aren't even real, imagine how many it can diagnose you and then be like, here's this just to keep you under control. Sometimes
I really think, because it's always a fun thing that I forget who, I saw it on Joe Rogan one time, but there was like a theory that you can wake up, like sometimes you wake up in another universe or something. Far-fetched. I know it's not true at all, Jobins, but sometimes I feel like it because here we are, and when I'm turning on, if I watch a CNN video, I know CNN, but if you turn on a news something, and then that what I'm hearing being talked about is pretty fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. So,
and I think too is like we like to entertain and have like these ideas of we're big movie guys, so we just like to have fun with it too, and really dive into like, oh, how crazy the situation is.
How crazy would that be?
Yeah,
like people with aliens and shit.
Jobins, I would not say to like take all your money out of the bank or anything and freaking just live life like it's the end of the world, because there's so much that's still good and could happen.
Oh yeah,
just keep a sane mind. It's not as crazy.
Oh yeah, we got a race to AI. We got China circling Taiwan, wanting to just fuck shit up. We got
Trump on Nelk.
Yeah, we got nuclear powers in everybody's hands that can just fucking melt rock, like Trump said on the Nelk Boys pod. Mm-hmm. There's so much going on in the world that you really can't freak out and let it ruin your life, which we don't. We're not sitting here. We're not all in this house doomsday preppers. You know what I mean?
Right.
We go out, we live our lives.
What's the point of doomsday prepping if it's like you're going to get wrecked anyways or be alone while everyone else is dead?
Yeah.
It's not that great either, surviving.
Yeah. I'd rather go out with everybody. I'm like Joey Diaz, baby. We're all going out together, cocksuckers. You know what I mean? I'm going down with the ship.
I don't know. I'd like to run a little like Mad Max group.
It would be cool. That was it's weird that you say that. They said Sam Remini and I'm going back to Ash. They said that's what season 4 was going to be like. Was kind of like Mad Max. They referenced it. Mm-hmm. So
that would be cool,
right? And then, dude, Elon Musk's spaceship blew up. Did you see that?
I heard. Thank God no one's in them, right?
So he lost like 8.5 billion. Tesla stocks dropped and the ship blew up. So 5 million from the ship. $5 billion spaceship, Jobins. Can you imagine? This is your $5 billion baby project. And I know our boy's loaded. I'm sure 5 billion's like 500 to him. $500.
It's more than $500.
Oh man, I can't imagine. But you know, seeing your little $5 billion rocket ship blow up probably hurt. And then your stocks drop a little bit.
Yeah.
It's funny how this happens to Elon Musk. The smartest guy that we're like, oh, this guy's so smart. And then he demonstrates his car with unbreakable windows. And what does he do? He breaks the window.
Can I say something too about Elon? I just feel like he is super smart. He's a super smart guy.
Yeah.
But he's also one of the most arrogant people out there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he has such confidence in himself that he can do things that are just impossible.
Shouldn't that be a little flag too of concern? Like, oh, here's this guy. And then he keeps having these little oops. Didn't know that was going to happen. That's going to fucking happen with AI. Oops. I didn't know AI was going to do that. Oops. You know what I mean?
Dude, just, man. Did you hear? I don't know how everyone else feels. The motherfucker, Elon Musk was like questioning a Twitter employee on if he really had a disability or not. And the guy had muscular dystrophy. He had, like a debilitating, like crippling condition that where he couldn't go into work and he worked from home the whole time.
And Elon Musk just wasn't having
and
it.
Get laid into him and
Damn.
was like, and he's like, prove it. Could you imagine? Because that just kind of goes back to the whole like not believing you're sick and shit. Elon, he just cares about the bottom line, which I get. He's a great businessman, but I don't think I could ever be friends with somebody like that.
I would love to be able to sit down and just actually know the truth with Elon. Like, I won't tell the world. I just want to hear me and you in a room, and I'm going to ask you the questions that I want to ask. And I need the truth. That'd be fucking interesting. Yeah. Like, this never leaves this room. If you could have that, I wish we could have that.
He'd be like, I tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Right? Barry, season 4.
Ooh.
Dude, started off with a bang. Jobins, if you haven't seen Barry on HBO Max, or Max, whatever the fuck it's called now, you need to go watch it. It's only 4 seasons. This is the final season. I think it is so well done with Bill Hader. He says he wants to direct movies now that Barry's wrapped, which I can't fucking wait. Bill Hader, this is one of my all-time favorite actors again, Jobins. The funniest dude. He's so funny. And you know he's funny when everybody that ever says anything about Bill Hader says he's the funniest guy they've ever met. And these are some funny fucking people. You know what I mean?
He is funny.
And then we got to see him break out a little bit with It. He broke out a little bit. He was still funny, but we got to see a little difference.
True.
And now Barry, he deserves an Emmy. A lot of people deserve an Emmy from that show. He really does. The scene where he was in the jail and he got his ass beat for saying he was a cop killer. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Just the trauma that he is able to wear on his face when he acts and make you believe everything with his expressions. He's so good.
Well, dude, comedians too are known to be like sad people a lot too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if does go through those emotions
right
on a regular basis. And like now he's putting it on display and it's killing. He's killing it with his performances, 100%.
You know what I love about Barry? Amazing pace. The pace of the show, story, everything. Every scene almost is super important. Kind of reminds me of Breaking Bad. Vince Gilligan was amazing at that. Every scene mattered. Every scene carried on. We can argue with the Fly episode. Everyone's like, oh, the Fly episode for the Breaking Bad was just fucking stupid.
The comedy aspect, though, is a lot different. Because it's like, there's scenes where it's like, I'm laughing pretty hard. Like that table scene was super funny.
Yes.
But at the same time, like it's serious, but then there's moments where you got to take yourself out of the seriousness. And it's like a serious cartoon show almost. I'm
predicting that's how it ends. I don't know how it ends, but I think it ends on you know how every episode kind of ends with someone going, oh, and then it goes, Barry, or something funny happens, Barry. I think that's what happens at the ending.
I'm excited, though. Yeah. It's definitely been a good season, Jobins. You should check out Barry.
Yeah. And Henry Winkler, he does such a good job.
Dude, and, oh my God, who plays Fuchs Who plays Fuchs?
Oh God, yeah, from Dodgeball.
He kills it in that
Where's
show.
my stapler?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I love that guy. He's good in that
We
show.
know these names too. We see him every fucking week.
Stephen Root, right?
Stephen Root. There
Stephen
we go.
Root.
Thank you.
Him and Henry Winkler, they're like the father figures for Barry.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I just love that.
The
aspect.
back and forth between Barry and his uncle is great.
I want Henry Winkler's character and Stephen Root's character to meet each other.
They haven't yet, have they?
No.
And so many things that happened to Henry Winkler were because of him. You know what I mean? So no spoilers there, Jobins. But yeah, dude. And Duho Hank, what's his name?
Duho Hank. Oh, I don't know the actor's
I forget his name, but he kills it so well. If anything happens to Hank, Jobins, and Barry, I riot.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I like both him and his boyfriend in it. They're funny.
Dude.
They're the funny criminals that are...
He deserves his own show. Hank deserves his own show. He can have a spinoff. I'm down. I'm down for it.
And dude, I actually like the dynamic. They've done more with the girl's character too.
Yeah.
And
She's
like,
got a lot going on.
Her family. Oh man, it's good.
Yeah.
All the characters, I'm loving them right now.
It's jam packed. I can't. 6 episodes left, and I'm sad. We'll see what happens. But I'm calling it with my prediction. I think it's going to end with a funny kind of ending. Boom, Barry, and we'll go. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Does Barry live or die? I'm kind of thinking he dies. What do you think?
I'm kind of thinking that too.
Yeah. 2 episodes deep.
I'm not getting happy ending vibes.
Yeah. All right, Jobins. Episode 118. We got to get our shit together. We got a bunch of shit. It's time to roll on.
Yeah. It'll be a crazy weekend.
Yeah. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Stay safe. See you next time.
See you, Jobins.
Deuces.